What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode number 101 of the Giveaway Show. I'm Cross Collects Comics. I'm so excited that each and every one of you could hang out with us tonight. We've got some really cool topics and some very cool panelists that we're going to be talking with tonight. We're going to be talking about Daredevil Born Again and the complete change in course that this new Disney Plus has gone on, all the different ramifications of that. Get some good discussion going. We're going to also be talking about our picks of the week. Each of us has picked up a few books that we'd like to spotlight, old, new, vintage, modern, all across the board. I'm really excited about sharing those with you. And then last but not least, we're going to be giving some final thoughts on the DCEU. That's right, Aquaman 2 has debuted, and it's actually doing really quite well financially. But that signals the end of the DC Extended Universe, and that paves the way for James Gunn's new DC Universe. So we're going to be giving our thoughts on that and what we learned from this past batch of films and what we're hoping for from the new ones. All that and more, plus plenty of giveaways tonight. It's going to be quite Daredevil-centric. We got some nice vintage books, including this nice one right here and some others. I can't wait to share that with you. Of course, a big shout out and thank you to our channel sponsor, Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys, 3 convenient locations in the area. This show would not be possible without our channel sponsors. So we want to thank them and just say a big thank you to them. So all that and more, and we're coming right back to you. See you in just a moment. All right, so here we are, and it's episode number 101. We're calling this the start of, I'm going to go and bring the guys out in just a moment here. Joined by 2 faithful stalwarts, my day one, and then my very close to day one. So I'm going to bring these guys out real quick here. Paul and Jen, why don't y'all come on out and say hi to everybody?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, how you guys doing? I'm writing some notes down, so if you guys see me putting my head down a lot, I'm usually just writing things. But we got a pretty good show here for, I would say that this is kind of like the startup show for the year because it's 101. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. We got a lot of good stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. So thanks for joining us tonight, guys.
Nice. All right, let's take it on over to Paul and see what he's cooking up.
What's going on, guys? Me and Billy here tonight. Turn over here, Billy. There you go. All right. Appreciate y'all being here tonight. Great turnout for the 100th episode. But yeah, we're here still going. Me and Billy are going to give y'all the right information. I don't know what Carlos and Jen are going to tell y'all, but me and him are going to tell you me and Billy are going to give y'all the right information that y'all been looking for. So stay tuned. We're here.
Awesome. Always a pleasure to have everybody tuning. Yeah, I saw that book. All right. So, hey, we've got plenty of books that we're going to share tonight. But the first thing up that we're going to be talking about is for tonight. Well, you know what? It's a Daredevil. Daredevil's taking the lead tonight. So let's go ahead and do our first, our early bird giveaway. So here's the deal. If you're brand new and you haven't been here before, here the deal is that, so we have a giveaway book.
Oh, nice.
That we're going to be, this is up. This is Daredevil number 183. This is a direct edition here. You know this cover. You've seen it before. And I'm putting this one at about 7.5 to 7 to 7.5. So we've got this that's up. I also happen to have a mystery book that you can choose from, or you can choose our upgrade giveaway book, which is a favorite around here, Wonder Man number 1. This does still have the poster inside of it for those who are concerned about that. But you can choose any of those 3 books. We're going to go and do the giveaway for that. I'm going to drop it here in the chat. Special shout out to El Green Machine, who was going to have joined us tonight, but he is not able to. He wasn't able to. So we're looking forward to him jumping on at some point in the next week or so. And
what happened? He didn't get permission tonight?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay. All right, folks. So what you're going to do is you're going to enter this hashtag. It is hashtag Paul Devil, and you're going to enter hashtag Paul Devil to be entered to win one of these 3 books. That's right. You get to choose. It's Daredevil 183 or the mystery book or Wonder Man #1. So you'll get to choose one of those 3. And I promise you're going to be fun. You're going to be happy with all of them. We're going to get to that. I'm going to let y'all start putting that in there. So hashtag Paul Devil. Make sure and help us spread the word. Hit that like button if you haven't already, just to help get the word out and let us know. In the meantime, while people are entering that, I'm going to go ahead and do some shout outs to the chat here because I see a bunch of you have started to come in. Las Cruces 1971, what's up? He's taken the first 5 spots there. Lizzie Pop 5, what's up? Thumbs up. Yes, that's right. Hit that like button, please. There he is. There's El Green Machine popping in and dropping the logo. Hey, if you're not a channel member yet, make sure and consider doing so. El Green, as part of his Dark Knight membership, is going to be getting this. Don't worry, El Green. It is shipping out this week. This beautiful slab here. This is Green Lantern number 114 in a CGC 8.5 with white pages. First appearance of the Crumbler. This book going to El Green just for being a member of the Dark Knight tier for the channel here. And that's right, you do get comic books for that tier. It's a special curated care package that I put together with multiple comic books and a few other things too, and I send it to you every quarter. And some people have asked, was it like a mystery box? Some of you have messaged and said, hey, is it a mystery box? What's the deal with it? How do those books get chosen? Well, here's what it is. You've got somebody in a massive city with about 30 local comic shops, and I go try to hit a few of them a week, out there looking and thinking of just you. Because after you fill out the form to be, once you've committed to joining, you fill out a form. The form tells me some of your favorite characters, a few other bits and pieces of information about you. And once that form comes in, I put it on a little document. I keep it with me. When I'm out shopping, I'm picking up giveaway books. I'm also picking up books for your next care package. So it's a really cool thing. I'm really excited about it because it's a way. And then I also add into it a couple books that I think are fun reads or that I think you might enjoy. So there will be some where everybody gets the same. But most of the books will be tailored. Most of the care package will be tailored to each and every one of you. So, and I promise you do get your value on it. So make sure and consider doing that because it's a great, fun way to get some books from somebody who's thinking about you while he's out shopping in all these different shops. And yes, every once in a while, Paul does throw a random book in there as well. And he might even be convinced, if he's in a good mood, to autograph a book for you. Now he's not going to send you Billy, but he will. He will, from time to time chip in. So make sure and think about that. That's just one more fun way to support the channel. So going on, let's see. Las Cruces. David Spider-Man Dotson. He won some books last week for his sticker price box entry that he did. Carlos DLR. What's up? Good to see you. Jonathan Dotson, the other half. Brooklyn Born. What's up? Hey, make sure and message me back on Instagram, buddy. I need a shipping address from you. Meatwad number 1, what's up? Good to see you. Pops Mafia, glad to see you as well. Make sure that you guys, as you're winning books, make sure you're messaging me.
Oh, yeah, Brooklyn Born said give them to me. Thank you, buddy.
Liz Barnes, good to see you as always. Joffrey Castro, what's up, Andrew Kai? Glad that you are here as well. Liz Barnes says, rumor has it that Carlos is a Swiftie. I can either confirm or deny that.
Oh,
all right,
man, she found that out.
Pops Mafia is asking, what color is the room that Paul is in?
It's a green screen, right, Billy?
Nothing but pink. All right, Billy. Okay, Dagger Card says he got that Wolverine today as well. Brooklyn Born says Billy blink twice if you need help.
Yeah, he's saying to send me his stuff. That's what he's saying. Thank you, Brooklyn.
I live alone, Paul, in a trailer down by the beach. Nice.
Oh, down by the river.
Good way, of course.
Down by the river.
Let's see. Dagger Card says sweet slab. That's right. They're not always slabs, but you do always get your value. Because every 3 months you get the care package, and you're paying $14.99 a month. That slab alone is worth more than for the month. So every other book he's getting on top of that, and he is getting another 7 or 8 books on top of that. It's just freebies at that point. So and it's cool stuff because I'm constantly thinking, like, one of El Green's favorite characters is Green Lantern. So El Green doesn't know this, but I have like the next year's worth of care pack. I'm already laying out books for the rest of, based, and he loves the Flash and Wolverine, and so I'm already laying out books for future care packages. Each of
Don't worry, El Green. I'm going to look over those books and make sure you get them properly to you, buddy.
Yeah, no, seriously, Paul did go over the books, and he's like, "Oh wow, yeah, okay, those are good books." But yeah, each person who joins the Dark Knight tier gets a divider in a special short box, and books for you just go in that divider, and they just go in there, and then I just pick from it, and because it gives me a good 3 months to be picking books, looking for books, keeping an eye out for books, and as they come up, I say, "Oh, hey, this person likes this character, so I'm going to grab this one." I was just at the LS earlier tonight and saw a certain cover that reminded me of a certain somebody, but I wanted to be sure because I haven't gotten the form yet. So y'all think about it. Let's see. Oh yeah, El Green Machine is here, pumping it up. Join up, member box curated just for you. That's right, it is just for you. Each and every one of you gets one that I'm thinking of, and then I run it by Paul and get his opinion as well. What's up, Mary Jimenez? Good to see you. What's up, Wolverado? Another one of our channel members. Great. Liz Barnes says, if it was a green screen, then you wouldn't see Billy. That's correct. That's correct. All right, so everybody, I hope everybody's had hashtag Paul Devil. That's what you want to enter to win. Hashtag Paul Devil.
Writing that up. I know y'all ain't writing that.
Hashtag
Paul looking Devil. Right here. Let me see who's writing it. All right, Dart Lucian, you're out. Oh, Team Paul. Never mind. You're back in. Yates, you're out. Let's see who's that. Mary, hi, Mary.
Hopefully they don't
green
believe
screen. What the hell's going on?
All right.
Oh, look at that. He wrote down Team Paul. He wrote down Team Paul after calling you the devil.
That would be Nightwing book. I better fill out my
Liz Barnes, you are correct. I picked up a Nightwing book, but then I said, let me wait and make sure. I was like 99% sure, but I want to be 100% sure with Tails boxes. So yeah. So cool stuff, cool beans there. Make sure to consider joining here on the channel. There is more stuff than what's listed. I just need to update the different entries. And for those who are in Canada and want the curated care packages, there's now a price level for you as well. For $19.99 US, I would do the same thing, but it just helps cover the extra shipping that goes up there to Canada. So we are also now shipping to Canada as well. And we've got some other fun stuff coming up. I think we're going to be adding I'm thinking about, y'all tell me what you think, adding a slab every couple of weeks. And everybody that enters to win does it through a $5 super chat. And then they're entered to win. For $5, you can win a slab shipped to you. So don't think about that. Tell me if you like that idea for here at the giveaway show. Let me know, and we'll get a chance to talk about it.
No,
all right,
we're not
so
giving
here
up
we go.
Billy.
Dagger Cards, think about it, man. Think about it. Feel free to hit me up on email that's right. And for anybody else who is thinking about the channel memberships, look, I'm not going to be offended if you say, hey, that's not for me. Like if you ask me some questions and you say, hey, man, I appreciate it, but it's not for me. Totally 100% cool. It's not going to affect us at all. I want to make sure that you have the best possible information to make an informed decision, and also want to make sure that you have any questions or concerns answered. And I am still working on a video as I fine-tune the different levels. I'm working on a video that's going to explain all of it, hoping to get that shot in the next couple of weeks here. I wanted to get it done in January of this year, but it's getting pushed back a little bit. So all that and more. Let's go ahead and get this. Let's see. That is a great idea. They do that on a card channel I watch. Very cool. Okay. Funko Pop. Hey, other stuff is not out of the question. I think the biggest thing for me is just I want to make sure I can ship well the stuff that's being promised to you. I have a couple of giveaways from when we first launched channel memberships. I still got to figure out how to ship those things, those Batman mask things that a couple of you joined and got. So, it's all right. Oh, there's Weapon X popping in the chat. All right, hey, let's go ahead and do it because we got multiple people here in the chat. 24 entries, #PaulDevil, and you will get your choice of either Daredevil 183 or a mystery book or Wonder Man #1. So y'all make sure and check and enter if you haven't already. I'm going to go ahead and do it in 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. And Pops Mafia.
Oh, what?
That's man. Pops Mafia. He got it. He took it down.
Wow.
All right. Hey, so Pops. Let's see. If I happen to freeze up, just give me a second. All right, Pops Mafia. So here's the deal. You can choose 183. You can choose the mystery book here. Or Wonder Man #1. Oh, he says he wants the pop that Paul was holding up.
What pop, man? I ain't got one.
What's the pop that you were holding up? The autograph one.
Oh yeah, that was.
Oh, nice.
She put Cobra Forever, the voice actress for nice. The original series.
Very cool. That's a nice have right there. All right, so Pops Mafia, he says that he's going to choose the mystery book.
Oh,
so drum roll, please. Mystery book. He's giving up 183, and instead he's going to take home another Daredevil book, Daredevil #29. That's right.
Wow.
Silver Age Daredevil right here going
Silver
straight.
Age. That's when they reveal his identity.
Yeah, I know. I love that cover. I love that cover. Look at that. That's nice. Hey, remember, it's low grade. But low grade is better than no grade. All right, so Pop Mafia.
Do you want the upgrade book there, Pop?
You can change it out for the mystery book if you want to. The upgrade book. You can always trade your books out for the upgrade book if you want to. If you choose to. Okay. Pops Mafia, make sure and resend me here because I think you have another book here that needs to go as well. So I've been slacking on getting my books out, but I have been getting caught up. So I've got a whole bunch packaged up this past weekend and getting a whole bunch packaged up this weekend and dropping off a ton of them at the mail. So we'll be getting tracking numbers for them. All right. So congratulations to Pops Mafia for his win on this. All right. So topic number 1 that we got here. Let me bring the guys out. So, fellas, here's the question on here. The big question on everybody's mind. We're seeing all these changes on Daredevil Born Again. So, Daredevil Born Again, as y'all know, is back in production. or is ramping up for production. They had paused it. They'd gone back to the drawing board with it and had made the decision to completely rework and retool the series based on all the trouble that Disney's been having with the content they've been putting out. So things that we know about the new version of Daredevil Born Again, it's a brand new showrunner, one of the producers from the Netflix Daredevil series, and he is now taken over. He is rewriting a bunch of it, I think most of it. We know that they are, in addition to Kingpin, they are also going to be bringing back Bullseye, the Netflix version of Bullseye. He's coming back. They had gotten rid of Foggy Nelson and Karen Page, the two law associates that work with Matt Murdock. And of course, Karen Page in the comic book, if you know it, is integral to the storyline for Daredevil Born Again, the comic. I can't fathom why they would have gotten rid of the character completely for the series. But she's back, and Foggy Nelson is back, which fantastic actors, Karen Wool and what's his name, Eldon Hemrick, something like that. But yeah, they're fantastic actors. And then we've seen set photos now of a person in classic White Tiger gear. So we're seeing that it might be the debut of the original Hector Ayala version of White Tiger. So plenty of news to talk about. So I just want to open it up to you guys on the panel here to get after this and see what do you think about this? Like all these changes we're seeing.
I don't. You want to start, Paul, or you want me to start, or?
No, I want to hear what you guys say so I can make sure that we're going on the right
direction.
direction.
Debunk my facts. Anyways, okay, so
come on, man.
He's something to say so he can say the opposite.
Yeah. So here's the thing, guys. I like that Foggy and Karen are coming back, but does that mean that they're going to honor the Netflix show? Because if they're bringing everybody back, look, Kingpin is back, right? So Kristen Ritter was on her Instagram, and she was wearing the Jessica Jones shirt that she wore on season 1. And she just posted that. That's all she did. She just posted it. She didn't do anything else but do that. And a fan saw that, and then they posted the shirt that she wore on the show and compared it to the one on the Twitter. And they said, is she hinting something? But she herself has said that she wants to return for season 1 of Reborn. So if they're bringing everybody back, then you should just keep the original show canon, because I enjoyed the original show. I mean, I can see them, maybe not honoring Iron Fist, because a lot of people didn't like the choreography on the Iron Fist show. Luke Cage was great. You can bring him back too. Everybody loved Luke Cage. He had a great show also. I mean, I think the only person that's really left is the Iron Fist guy that you could probably replace him. But
and there's news about
so far. I think the only thing that they should focus on now is just maybe try to do their own thing with the show and not so much trying to connect it to the MCU. Because let's say that Phase 5 and 6 decides to not go a direction that the fans like, and then people just stop caring about those phases. But at least we have this really cool show that's part of the MCU. Like, people love Loki, right? Like Loki 1, Loki 2, Loki 3, right? Hopefully they'll make a Loki 3, especially with how Loki 2 ended with Kang.
They didn't make a Loki 3.
No, I'm saying hopefully they do make a Loki 3.
We got it, Billy. We got
it. Yeah, I mean, I like the direction. I like what they're doing. I was actually really excited when we were talking about White Tiger in our group chat. I was like, look, I think they're going to do the original one. And, I think everybody was really hyped, and I think the guy's name is Henson. Eldon Henson is what.
That's
Carlos
right.
was
That's
saying.
right.
So I really liked. I've liked him since the Butterfly Effect. I've liked that actor since he was like a kid or something. Having Foggy back is like awesome. I mean, I think when I heard that he wasn't coming back, I was like, who are they gonna get? Like, yeah, how do you keep this actor but you don't keep that actor? So it's smart that they're bringing everybody back. It's just from here on out, it just depends on what they're gonna do, and I think whatever it is. And that's another thing. Wolverado is right. I heard a rumor that might be Iron Fist. That's what they might do. They might turn Colleen Wing into Iron Fist. Like if they don't, so that way they don't have to go back and say, well, Danny's Iron Fist. Well, since they're trying to not cast that character, they can just like leave him alone and not talk about him and just keep her as Iron Fist. And that's not a bad idea either, and creates diversity and all this other stuff. Because you've already kind of established it, and it does happen in the comic book. So, yeah, it's yet to be seen. So, to be TBA, right? To be announced.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Wow.
So a couple notes based on what you said. So we do know that now I think they've kind of backtracked that the Netflix shows are not canon, and now they're saying they kind of are. And I think honestly, the only one that and now there's a rumor that the only change they're going to make to those characters, to like the whole Defenders lineup, the street level characters, is that they're going to replace the Danny Rand version, which people just did not respond well to him at all. Which, I mean, I didn't. I did not like it at all.
I don't think
You're talking about Iron Fist? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think,
The player.
They're saying they're
Finn.
replaced
Finn. I think his name is Finn.
Finn.
I can't remember. It's Finn something. I can't remember his name, but that's how forgettable he is. I'm sorry to the actor. I mean, it's just he didn't do enough to where Iron Fist is the most. He's like the best martial artist on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have Shang-Chi, who is like his sidekick. I don't want to say sidekick, but they usually team up, right? But his background, all that stuff, that him being Caucasian, goes to a mystical island.
Right.
He gets a little bit of his own experience of racism from the Asians, right? So they're like, oh, you can't be part of this. And this guy takes down a dragon and gets powers. Finn Jones, thank you, Wolverado. Finn, I met Finn Jones. I really liked him.
It's Finn Jones.
I think even Finn Jones said that the choreographer kind of screwed everyone over with that show. I mean, you're the best martial artist, and you look like Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat 1. Remember that sweep that he was trying to do? It's like slow-mo, and that one guy.
Yeah.
Just go watch Mortal Kombat 1 when he tries to do that sweep. That was a lot like Iron Fist season 1. I think as the Defenders went on, I think when whoever was doing the choreography for those things and then had Iron Fist in it, it was good. I think his fighting got better. But that season 1, man, that just completely butchered his character. Yeah, and I think it just sucks. But I did like some of the script. I did like how he walked into the room and then he introduced himself and he's like, I'm Danny and this is where I come from, and that he had like a glowing hand and it was just comical because everybody else is like, is this guy serious? Like, what's going on here? Like, and he would do that constantly. I thought that was kind of funny, but it was the same trick.
It left a lot to be desired. I think they took what could have been one of the most interesting characters from that lineup and made it turn into the most boring character. Because when Daredevil's fight choreography blows Iron Fist out of the water, it's like something's going wrong with it.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, but they got a lot right, though, I will say, because the Luke Cage, which I'll miss that if they go with the rumor which is to turn Iron Fist into the female version, the Colleen Wing version. Like if they bring her back, then we'll miss out on the Heroes for Hire team up, which I really would have liked to see. But I mean, to me, honestly, I would just recast Iron Fist. I don't know if they can do that contractually, but I would just recast it, and like they did with Rhodes, and I would just say, hey, it is what it is. We're going to recast a really solid young actor in there that could bring a lot to it. And yeah, like if they hadn't already cast, what's his name? The one who got picked up to be the new Sentry.
Oh,
He played Bob in Top Gun. That one. If he hadn't been picked up for that, I would absolutely say get him because he is talented, and he's Bill Pullman's kid.
Yeah,
the president from Independence Day. That's his son, and so I would have totally gotten him. All right, folks. He hasn't got enough screen time yet.
What? No, I was listening to you. I mean, I was waiting for my turn. Is my turn already?
It's either between him or you would probably get. This is another actor.
Yeah, I don't know what these.
But you can also get
turn the camera.
Glenn
Powell. Glenn Powell.
Come on, man.
He would be pretty good too. He just has that.
Oh man.
That quirky, personality. He has that smirky. That like he'll smile at you while he tries to fight you, and it's and Iron Fist is very confident. He's a very if you've read his comics, I don't want to say he's cocky, but he's borderline. You can confuse cocky and confidence with the way he's written, and it's and you got to get a really good actor to play that part, especially to sell the best martial artist. When I saw Shang-Chi, I was like, that's how Iron Fist should have been when I saw Shang-Chi. So I mean, with all the mystical stuff and the martial arts and the whole legend status, so much could have been done with that character. But I mean, it was always in an office building. It felt like the whole thing took place in an office building. Or eating a hamburger on the streets.
So, Paul, what are your thoughts on Daredevil?
Oh, finally! I mean, I don't know what these guys are talking about, but me and Billy have been talking about this. The guy, Charlie Cox, we went over there. Right, Charlie Cox? Yeah, I think his name.
Charlie Cox, yes.
Yeah, we went to New Orleans. Punisher was there. Me and Billy were asking him some questions on Born Again. They couldn't answer us because they were like, we're not in jeopardy to answer those questions. So. Getting those two guys, that's good. Getting Kingpin back, that's good. But I don't know about the rest of it. White Tiger, I know somebody on the panel is really happy to see him. Hopefully they do that character justice. I mean, who knows what they're going to do with him. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what the MCU is doing with this. I think they're going to go like cosmic for some of the fans and then back to street level for other fans. So I just like to see what this show is going to be about.
Well, what did Charlie Cox tell you? Did he tell you that?
No, he's like, I'm not in liberty to answer those questions. I'm like, well, let us know something. And then Billy was trying to strong arm him, so
maybe
Billy got thrown out. But
just with,
Wait, what? What did he say?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was okay. I was like, thank you, sir. But Billy's like, no, that's not good enough for me. And trying to strong arm him, but that's all right. But Billy's back. He's here. Yeah, what happened to Carlos? He froze?
I'm just watching you. All right, folks. Let's do this. Let's see. All right, so that's topic. Okay, so hey, what do you think in the chat? What do you think?
Hold up. I got a question for you. I know everybody knows who's been watching this that this guy is a big White Tiger fan. What do you think? You hoping that they do good with this character, or what do you expect out of this? Because I've been waiting to ask you that.
So here's the deal. So this is the only photo that has been released, and then there's a video clip that goes with it. So
yeah, there's another one he's in the store, I think, where you can see the costume a little better.
Yeah, Yeah, I shared it on the group chat. The other one that's where he's in the store.
Yeah, he's in the store. He actually, but I mean, that's just from the shot. They're probably gonna do a lot of editing.
Well, they're gonna. That's without the magic, right? Without
because that right there looks like just some guy that went to a damn Halloween.
Well, that looks like his.
It looks like
he didn't even attempt to make that.
It looks like he's in.
He looked like he just went to a costume store and was like, "Hey, I'll take that and put a little black."
It looks like the White Ranger from Power Rangers.
He looks like a budget cosplay of White Tiger, and yeah, it's.
I mean, look at the lady. She's like, I'm not even scared. I don't even know what he's doing in there.
I'm hoping that. Okay, so you asked, what am I hoping for on it? I don't want to get all like rah-rah. I don't want to get all rah-rah representation, but I'm going to say this. Okay, so we got Namor. It was not like they took a character and they changed him into a Hispanic character. Rationale made sense. I don't know about the portrayal of him. I thought there were some things that were cool, some things that were a huge miss on it.
Right.
But White Tiger is historically and canonically, he is the first Hispanic superhero that Marvel Comics ever created back in the 70s. All right. So, he debuted in Deadly Hands of Kung Fu number 19.
Yeah.
And he was drawn by George Perez, and then he jumped over into the traditional comic books. After several issues of Deadly Hands, he jumped into Spectacular Spider-Man number 9, which is the one that you see a lot of people pointing at and saying, it's not technically his first, but it's his first. And that's actually, we broke that here on this channel. That's his first in a traditional comic book. So it's become a big deal because it's got such an iconic cover, and he's on it. And since then, there's been 4 other versions of it, with the latest being a younger sister that's a female version of the character. So my hope is that they're going to honor the character, because even in the comic books, the way his story ended was pretty terrible. It was I didn't like it. I wasn't a fan of it. Because he had been reduced to like a kind of like a weak and feeble character, and then he was murdered by, a no-name villain, and that's his comic story, and he was never really given a place of prominence, and didn't really get a lot of accolades for what he was, and I thought the character had merit. There were some cool things that could have been done with that character, but again, the biggest problem I've always had with a lot of these characters, that a lot of the Hispanic characters, that I like them and support them, is that they are still just picking up the mantle of another character. White Tiger got the amulet from the Brothers of Kung Fu, which was another group that disbanded. I think there was like 2 or 3 of them, and they disbanded. And the Tiger amulet, they threw it out a window. Hector Ayala found it, and that's how he got the powers. It wasn't tied to his culture or his background, like like T'Challa as Black Panther. His power was tied, like his power set and his powers and origin were all tied to his culture. I would have hoped for that from a Hispanic character, but all the ones that we've seen, they've all been kind of picking up for somebody else.
Yeah, taking the mantle for somebody.
Right, Blue Beetle. Right, Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
And you go. There's several of them that that's why I'm such a big fan of Primos, because it tied the power set back to the culture and it made a through line there. And different people have different opinions about it, and I'm not getting all like whatever about it.
Mississippi just gave us inside information.
I'm pointing that out. So what I'm hoping is that they're going to do more with the character. But I also am real to the fact that it's a crowded universe. The MCU is packed now. Yeah. They've got so many characters. They can't maintain quality on all of them, and try to tell like there's just not. I don't think there's a. They don't have the bandwidth, and they're not set up to keep up that level of quality for that many characters. So, I will be happy if he gets less screen time, but it's quality and it really does well for the character and does well with the character. Then if he gets a lot of screen time, but he's just kind of a joke, and but that's just me. That's me. I'm happy to see the character popping out or coming up and the possibility of it. I was happy when it was the younger version, and they were rumoring that it was Jen Ortega. I mean, I was excited just to see White Tiger even getting mentioned as a possibility because, like 3 years ago, nobody knew who that character was. Nobody was even paying attention to that character. Now, it's going to be in a Disney Plus show, possibly. Yeah. That's a huge jump right there.
Yeah, Collector told me he dies in episode 2. Yeah.
No, I agree with you, Carlos. I think representation is a very important thing. I remember when this character was announced. Now my wife is Puerto Rican, and when she heard of this, she didn't know anything about this character or comics really. Her favorite character is Venom and and Spider-Man related characters like Dr. Octopus. She likes things like that. So, but when I
Care Bears
read some things together, she goes, "Wait, this is a Puerto Rican character?" I go, "Yeah." So she's like, "Okay, let me read up on this." She, read up on it, and she's like, "This is kind of cool, but why don't they ever do more with these characters?" And I go,
"Yeah."
I just looked at her. I go, "It's that, man. I'm sorry, but it's that's why you see all these changes in certain characters." But yeah, if I'm looking at the list of what you said with the 4, variations of these characters. Now you had Hector, then you had Bengal Tigress. I don't know anything about Bengal Tigress. And then you had
that was not in the lineage of the total 5 that have worn the mantle. 3 have been from the family, the same family.
Yes. Yeah. And then you have Angela Del Toro, which is the aunt. I'm sorry, that's the niece. And then you have Ava Ayala. So then which is the most latest character. But yeah, I think representing these characters is very important, especially if it's your first time doing it. Like Namor, I didn't have a problem with the casting. My problem was that they didn't even attempt to make him look like the character, like carry his persona. Like this guy he wouldn't just flood Wakanda. He would go in there and he'll probably make an example out of some of the people there for breaking a promise or doing whatever. Namor is a very vengeful character. If you've ever read any of his stuff, it's like your word is your oath. So if you go and you tell him something and you don't go back and I guess you don't go back on your word, he'll come after someone that you love. And I think they didn't really do that with this character. They even when he fought a teenage girl, I think I had a problem with that just because she just learned how to fight like 30 minutes ago, and he's been on this planet for like hundreds of years, and she was able to chip his foot wing, and it's like, what's going on here? This guy goes toe to toe with the Hulk and the Thing, but you need to write some of these characters better because I'm sure that if he was written a lot better, we would be getting a Namor movie right now. I know that they'd probably talk to Universal Studios about that partnership and money and all that, but a movie would be definitely on the way. But they just need to do better with representing these characters. That's all I have to say about that.
And I think that's you're right up the alley that and it's a thing to do because we're in such a politically charged climate. So right off the bat, when I say the word representation, everybody kind of, and it's like people automatically start to think, okay, this person's in one tribe. They're in it. When no, it's like, but at the same time, it's like when I want to take, like with my son and now with my daughters, I want to take them and see characters, that are like them and have them have a good time, like Blue Beetle. That's why I love Blue Beetle, was because they had a good time with it. They enjoyed it. They thought it was the best movie they'd ever seen. They really enjoyed it, and something about it, it just clicked with us. It connected. We got it, and so I think, it doesn't have to be every film. I think there needs to be a good variety out there. But yeah, so I'm hoping for it. I'm excited. I like what Southern Comic Geek said here. He said, "We know that was really Carlos dressed as White Tiger to get the hype up."
God.
I can neither confirm nor deny that I have a White Tiger costume.
No, he can't confirm or deny.
So that was you in the set photos?
They've never been in the same room, so it could be a possibility.
I've been working out, dude. I've been working out.
Hey, JT will get you right. All you got to do is go visit JT.
Would have seen some big love handles on that White Tiger if it had been me in there.
Hey, man, JT will get you right.
I know he could. Wolverado says, will it be White Tiger in his prime or an older White Tiger ready to pass on the mantle to his younger sister? Honestly, I think that I felt like that's what they were going to do in the previous version, was the older one passing on the mantle, which I would have been cool with. I would have been okay with that if handled well. They don't have to completely emasculate him. He can die a noble, fierce death, or whatever. He doesn't have to, be a blue milk Luke or something. You don't have to do that. Or is it going to be him in his prime? I honestly, I'd be happy with either, because it would just be getting to see the character. As long as he's done well, I'd be happy with either.
Maybe someone that's in their late 40s.
Yeah. Hey, watch it now.
Watch
it. All right.
Marvel, there you go. There's our White Tiger.
I'm not ready to pass the mantle yet, okay?
Even though he's Robin, you can play White Tiger.
All those things about him at the convenience store. Oh, is that you, Carlos? It's like
yeah, Carlos does go to the convenience.
All right. Darth Lucian says, that's what I thought they were doing. I don't know, man. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do now, because I didn't think the original White Tiger was going to appear in the previous version. I don't know. We'll see. Wolverado says, kind of like the Arrowverse, possibly. Weapon X says, Paul's waiting for the crossover with White Tiger and Cheech and Chong.
Yep. Riding in their van. Yeah, the van. They had the van. Yeah.
All right, Jonathan Dodson. I think they could is all up to the writers. Look at how well. See, and that's 100% true. All right, the writers' rooms over at Disney. I'm glad they've made the staffing changes they've made. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to dog anybody, but they needed to make that because they've changed a ton of projects. And the writers, and they needed to do that. Because
I just want to say that before they start their meeting, they watched the Carlos Collects.
Yeah, I agree.
Carlos Collects giveaway show first before they start.
I agree with not only Paul, but also what Jonathan is saying right there.
Yeah. He says, if you want to see real diversity in comics, you need to go to the independent. And I do.
Yeah,
I do. I love independent books. But also, I want the big two to do well. So, look, here's where I'm at. I want the industry to do well and keep going for a much longer time.
Because we don't have anything to cover.
What?
We won't have no information to cover.
Well,
hey, speaking of independent ones, Kill 'Em All was just announced. The comic book Kill 'Em All was just announced, I think, earlier. I think last night. I think late night last night or something. it was announced that they're beginning to work on it now. If you haven't read Kill 'Em All, it's a very very good trade paperback. It's not a comic. It's an actual trade paperback that came out, so you can get your hands on it. I know people, when they hear this news, they always go in. But yeah, that's another good point right there on the independent ones. Just reminded me of that.
Yeah,
David Dodson says something really good.
They're doing really good. The independent, there's some really good stuff going on in independents. Okay, David Dodson says the writers don't read comics, so they will all be bad movies and shows. Most writers said they didn't read the comics. Yeah. Previously, that was the case. They were trying to, from what I heard, they were trying to hire people that were unfamiliar with the source material. And I think that's just a horrible practice. It's horrible.
That's what Star Wars is doing.
They've gotten, well, and we see how that's going.
You heard what her comment was. She loves to make men uncomfortable.
Yeah, but you want to know the truth. I don't think that film's getting made.
Which one?
Yeah, they've already had her locked in to make 3 movies.
Which one are you talking about?
That's what they're saying, but if you track back over the past few years and you look at all the Kathleen Kennedy announcements, how many of those actually happened?
None.
Oh yeah, they canceled the one Rogue Squadron.
Well, a lot of. I think they're keeping her there. So again, if this were to offend some of you, the feminists, I think they're just keeping. I think they're just keeping her there, so some of the women don't get mad at her. So that they don't get mad at the person running Star Wars. Because remember, they also brought back George Lucas, so he can start overseeing the projects.
I never heard that.
Yeah, I
never heard of George Lucas coming
back.
Yeah,
they came out like a year and a half ago.
Doesn't want any part of this. George Lucas doesn't want any part of this mess right now. He
doesn't own it, but I'm pretty sure that they talked about bringing him back because they're going to fire her. But then I think there was a backlash on. Look at that.
Yeah, Star Wars is a whole episode by itself.
The thing I want to say is that Dodson's right. If you don't,
let's
don't read the source material and at least get it to the fans right, you're going to have backlash. So that's all I was doing.
Yeah, of course. And that's why,
Dodson, Billy's been saying that, so you've been copying what Billy said.
All right. Wolverado says TFB with 2 Latinas behind him on his wall. I think she's talking about you, Paul.
With 2 Latinas.
Paul loves that women make him feel uncomfortable.
Okay. Tony. Watch it, Tony.
Okay. All right. That doesn't offend Paul. He's the president of He-Man Woman Haters Club.
What?
Dark Lucian, we're not gonna, let's not do that. We don't have to do that. We can stay civilized. Jen said something about George Lucas and Billy got excited. Yeah, he started jumping around.
Billy was like,
what future says Lucas is back advising? Yeah. I don't know about that one. I have not heard that, and I think I would have heard it if that was the case. Nothing offends Paul at Southern Comic Geek. Linda Carter and Raquel Welch. Okay, yeah. All right, so let's keep it moving along to
the
next topic. Man. All right, picks of the week. I'm going to give you guys a minute to get ready, and just a quick. I'll show off the picks of the week that I've got. These are new books that I have
right here.
I did want to give a shout out to our friend of the, not friend of the channel, but friend Paul Villalobos. He was just here in town. And he gifted me this really cool little sketch that he was doing, and thank you for the posters, Lobos. The girls love them. All right, so this is his version of Taylor Swift as Dazzler on this little sketch.
Yeah, turn it a little bit. There you go. Turn it a little bit more so it gets. Yeah, there you go. What was that? Taylor before and after?
Yeah, it was just a couple of concept sketches he did, and he went ahead and signed it, and he gave it to me.
So that's Taylor before and after?
No, it's just 2 different concept versions. It's two concepts. Okay, so then shout outs real quick. Also, speaking of Paul Villalobos, he's all over the place right now. That just dropped this week on New Comic Book Tuesday for DC. Power Girl Uncovered. This is the best cover I've seen in quite some time.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Lobos today. That's right.
Fantastic. Look at that. So so this is also by the amazing Paul Villalobos. He's like the next Adam Hughes. The guy is fantastic. So that is one of my picks of the week. It's now keep in mind there's not a story. It's just all Power Girl covers, which that's a big part of what she's known for is the awesome covers. Next up, from the DC Vault, Batman number 428 by Starlin, Aparo, and DiCarlo, but this is the alternate ending. So they released a facsimile, but it's it's the alternate ending material that was turned in. Because as you remember, Jason Todd was voted on by the fans. He could either live or die. There was a version that was different than what actually happened. So this is kind of like a director's cut. This was one of the alternates. I really like this color splash one that they did with just the red on it. So this is the one I picked up, but there is a different one with Batman holding a living Robin. So that's a very cool, another cool pickup. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm starting to like that they're going back into the vault and they're re-releasing these original director's cuts that were turned in by the writers, but got changed editorially after. We saw that with G.I. Joe #1, the Larry Hama cut edition that was released, a couple months ago, and now seeing stuff like this. So this is really cool. It's a neat pickup. Take a look at it. Last one. Here's one for the kids. My girls were very excited about this when I told them, but Dynamite dropped Lilo and Stitch #1 this week.
Yeah.
So I picked up a copy for the girls. And so if you got kids, there's some really cool. This one was awesome. I almost picked it up, but I said no, I'm not going to. In addition to a foil version of this, there's also a negative space blue cover featuring the alien. So it's a cool little event that they did. So make sure you keep an eye out for those. So those are my picks of the week. Oh, last one I need to show y'all real quick. So this is part of something you'll see a little bit more of it on the channel. I am back to the practice of trade weighting. Now, for those who don't know what that is, that means instead of picking up the single floppy issues, I wait until a trade paperback version is released and then I pick it up. I got a new iPad for Christmas for doing some writing on it, but I also wanted to get exercise my brain more and be able to read more comics than I'm currently reading. So all that to say that the first trade paperback that I purchased of the year, and I'm reading through, I'm in issue #3, is one that everybody's already read. So this is nothing new, but it is The Last Ronin. So I'm currently reading The Last Ronin. I did not pick it up or read it when it came out. I know it was insanely popular, but I just wanted to say that, wow, it is fantastic. The story is excellent. The writing is excellent. The stories are excellent. The art is really great. It's excellent as well. And I'm just loving it. So if you happen to have missed out on it, and you're like me and you like to trade weight, let me recommend the trade paperback for The Last Ronin, which is here. I'm reading it and just having a blast, loving it because it's so heartfelt, so well done, so well thought out, and a fantastic read for those who are looking for something to get caught up on. All right, so guys, I'm going to go and pass it on to y'all, and let's see. Future Batman, you want to go?
Sure. I can go first, or Paul, or it doesn't matter.
Paul has turned off.
Okay, so I have I do have the picks for this week, and then I had some stuff that I wanted to. Are we going to go into Superman and all that other stuff, or
Yes.
okay, so all right, so I picked up the Taylor Swift Lobos cover. Bedrock City Comics company did this one, so I zoom in on their. So I did buy the bundle for this. I did get that.
Oh, did you get all of them?
Mm-hmm. I bought the bundle, and it comes with the. So he signed all of these right here, even the bundle. But I just took. I left the other one in my box, and I just took this one. So I was in a hurry, and I was like, so this right here. So this is called the Lover. This is called the Lover version, but there's different versions. Like there's one. So each cover that I guess that came out for her was based off of her albums. So because she's currently touring around I guess America or something right now. You know, I guess whenever she's not at the Kansas City games, you know, she's there doing all that. So then I also picked up the Jackpot. I thought this is kind of cool. This is Mary Jane as Jackpot.
Yeah.
So you'll see mostly the Lobos covers, and it's kind of cool that, you know, Carlos had a few that he went over because it just went well with what I was going to show. And I also have the Wonder Woman one. I thought there's a lot of great things going on here. Just like it's so detailed, man. You know, it's just so detailed. He just, you know, I feel I agree with the what is it called? What's his name? You had just compared him. Adam Hughes. Yes, I agree with that. I was just having a conversation with Oliver about that at the premiere of that movie we watched yesterday. That Henry Cavill movie that we watched yesterday with the spies. And he mentioned that. He goes, man, he reminds me of Adam Hughes. And I go, he still has to have a really iconic cover. Like, and then and it's crazy because you showed the Power Girl cover, and I think he's like a numbers cover away. You know, like the Catwoman 51 numbers where everybody was like going crazy over that book. Well, he released this on his website. It's only 1,000 of them were made. So he had that at the signing. So only 1,000 of these copies were made and everything. So I had him sign it, and I'm just going to try to take good care of it. It's a foil edition. I just really liked. The way it looked. So those are my modern. I do have the other ones that I want to show off, but what's our next topic? If you want to,
we can bounce it over to Paul and have him. I'm happily flipping through my Power Girl Uncovered book, which is fantastic. It's really just a cover gallery book. It's just all the just a ton from throughout her history. It's it's just a ton of different Power Girl covers. That's really all it is. It reminds me of like those pinup books that you used to have.
Definitely.
Like just all it's just all art. You know, it's cool because it's from all like a whole bunch of different versions of her that are just. But yeah, it's just like a collection. They even went like retro with some. Like I didn't even know this one existed.
I wonder if they have Adam Hughes as a Power Girl in there. Where
I told you about that one, Carlos.
She's in there. The Adam Hughes one is in here as well. This David Nakayama one is a fantastic one, and the Will Jack right here. See, it's got everything from the new ones back to the old ones. And then there's the art journal. I don't have that art journal one, but if anybody wants to AOK,
a fantastic one,
yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a foil for that, yeah.
Art Germ loves drawing covers like that. He gets a kick out of
Yeah,
it.
guys. This is the one I really want that I missed out on. So this is the Power Girl variant by John Boy, big supporter John Boy Myers.
Mhm.
Big shout out to him. I'm hoping to see him at Fan Expo Dallas this year, but I need to get that Power Girl #1 variant. And then this one is Ariel Diaz, your favorite artist, Jen. Ariel Diaz.
God. I mean, look, if you look at the way she draws the top part, I think it looks great, but she always draws these females with like no leg day, you know. It's like it's very unproportionate. It's just, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that.
So these are all, I mean, this is a cool pickup. You know, if you're a Power Girl fan and you know you want to get a good collection of art. You know, if it was thicker paper, it'd be kind of cool to have the different artists sign on their covers. But I think that would just, unless they did it in like ballpoint, I think it would be messed up. It would get messed up.
Or maybe a blank cover, right? Like you can maybe have a blank cover of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this one, yeah. Although I don't know. I mean, this is fantastic. This art here.
What was that called? It was just called Power Girl #1.
No, this is Power Girl Uncovered #1.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Power Girl Uncovered. The local comic shops I swung by were sold out of this one because it was definitely an FOC thing. All right, everybody's making comments about Mrs. Collects. Mrs. Collects has not seen that one yet.
Mrs. Collect gonna get him.
Yeah, both use light and shadows really well. Paul would like to read that Lobos Wonder Woman after he eats some greasy pizza.
Well, watch it there, Weapon.
Yeah. Carlos, be careful how you say you're looking at Power Girl Uncovered. Mrs. Collect is watching.
You're gonna run up the stairs.
So when does Carlos have to get rid of that book? Hopefully never. Let's see. She's only looking for M House and Gun Honey. Yeah, no, Gun Honey. There's a couple of Gun Honey books left that I found. I didn't know they were still here. I thought I'd gotten rid of all the Gun Honey.
They're there.
His wife hasn't looked at it yet. That's correct. I was going to say 11:38. That book is coming to a giveaway show soon. Yeah. What's up, GX? Good to have you with us.
What's the one that bought your Gun Honey? Was it Wolverado or somebody?
No. It was. What was his name? I'm friends with him on Instagram, and he messaged me and was like, "Hey man, I'll take it off your hands." And I said, "All right." I tried to give that thing away, and nobody was taking it. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so real quick, just a reminder: hashtag Carlos Swifty is how you can enter this round's giveaway. You don't have to do anything other than just drop that hashtag in the chat. If you're brand new and that's how we do it here. Let me show you real quick. So for this next giveaway, we are doing, let's see. Okay, so this is Daredevil number 236, the 25th Marvel 25th anniversary in a newsstand. I'm putting this at about a 7-ish to 7.5 maybe. You can get this, or of course I'll have a mystery book that you can choose, or I've got Wonder Man #1 poster still intact, and those are your choices for this round's giveaway. So make sure you enter hashtag Carlos Swifty if you want a chance to win, and make sure to check out those recommendations. I'm going to pass it over to Paul, and he's going to give his recommendations now, and then we'll come back to Jen for some big special vintage books. All right, Paul, what you got?
All right, so I picked these up today. I love this homage to 300. So I picked up a couple
those are cool.
These. Cool. I picked up this one. I saw this one, but I know the other Middleton gets a lot of love.
That'd be nice.
That's like his sacred book now, right? It's like people go after.
Luckily, found one of these. So.
Yeah.
Oil.
Where'd you find that, Paul? You found it.
This is not the Power Girl Uncovered. This is.
Is that an okay for me?
No, that was for me. I found it. So I was if y'all were watching the Carlos Collects channel, found these in the back issue bin. So
Nice.
This is what they're
making a movie on that girl.
Movie going to be about. But this is, if nobody knows, this is a variant cover, regular cover. So that's what the movie's going to be about.
Remember.
And if y'all been watching with Carlos was slipping, so your boy found these. And what's funny is that there's a 35-cent one, guys. So y'all be on the lookout. There is a 35-cent, but this one's pretty cool. It's the diamond.
That's the whip.
And then this one's the regular, but there is a 35%.
How much do you want for those, Paul?
No, they're not for sale. And your boy got lucky. Carlos was sleeping. So this book has been getting a lot of traction. This is the second print, first cover.
Introduction of his family.
Yeah, and that's him on the cover. I think that's like the ASM 50 homage.
Yeah.
Well, no, the family doesn't appear in Ultimate Invasion 1.
And
I thought, what happens in that issue?
I love DC logo, so I had this one.
Nice.
I like that too.
Kyle Rayner, DC logo. Yeah.
That's
while Carlos and Collector are sleeping, your boy's out there. So if y'all watch Carlos Collects channel, that's why I be picking them up. This one.
Hey, make sure, and I'm glad Paul brought that up. Real quick promo for the channel. Hey, if you've noticed, we've done away with, or we made a couple changes to the channel homepage. I'm going to drop this in real quick, and then I'm coming back over to you, Jen. We made a couple changes to the channel homepage. Episode number 101 that you're watching right now, tonight, or on the rewind. This is actually the first episode of what we're calling Season 5 of the Giveaway Show. To help make it easier for us and you to go back and find older episodes of the Giveaway Show, we're grouping them in blocks of 25 episodes and calling each one a season. So we're calling this Season 5 moving forward. And over the next 2 weeks, you'll be seeing the Giveaway Show, all the past episodes getting reorganized into groupings of 25, Seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4 previously. And also, a bigger change, I did away with this week on Carlos Collects, and instead I have a new playlist at the top of the homepage called Featured Videos. What that is each week the new episode of the Giveaway Show, other new videos for that week, and then past videos that tie into new videos being released. I'm also grouping there. So if you take a look on the homepage, in fact, I'm going to pull it up right now so that everybody can take a look at it with us, and you'll be able to see this, because I think this is kind of cool, and this will be fun for those who want to be able to look at other stuff that from the same channel that you might want to find. So here on let's go ahead and bring it up. Okay, so here on the Carlos Collects Comics channel, this is the homepage you're watching, Giveaway Show episode number 101. But here underneath, you have featured videos, including this episode of the Giveaway Show, the top 10 Daredevil comics to add to your collection with over 1,000 views, very popular. The top 10 White Tiger comics from a year ago. This video was produced a year ago. That's how far ahead we are on this channel of the curve. All right, top 10 White Tiger comics to add to your collection. All right, so some great White Tiger pickups for you. And way back into the vaults, the Giveaway Show episode number 36, Paul. 36 classic storylines that we enjoyed featuring Daredevil. So there's some great additional viewing if you want to check it out. So y'all make sure and look at that. Some fun stuff for you to see.
I was on that episode with the.
Were you on that episode also?
Yeah. Don't remind me, man. Don't remind me.
All right. So there's some great Daredevil Born Again content that you can go back and watch. But yeah. So y'all check that out. And then, like I said, so if you're so inclined, make sure and watch those, because that also does help the channel with the ad revenue and stuff like that. And even if you decide to get a whole playlist and just have it play while you're at work. That's a huge help for the channel and much appreciated. See what other people say. I like looking at my reflection in that Power Girl foil. El Green Machine says, I have one for you, Cross. Thank you, El Green. Let's see. Phil Ailing says, hi, Southern Comic Geek. And Darth Lucian says, can we cover swipe X-Men 101 with Paul's head on it? I like that idea. I like it a lot. Liz Barnes says, Ben Barbie again. All right. So just some fun stuff for y'all. Let's take it back over to the future Batman and let him share his vintage picks.
Oh, Lord.
All right, guys. Yeah, I hear you, Paul. I hear you. All right. So
I don't even hear him anymore. Jim.
I do. I you know, you guys are my homies, so I take any feedback, whether if it's good or positive. I mean, if it's positive or negative. I'm about to say if it's good or positive.
All right,
so
let's see what we got, Billy.
I was gonna say, so I originally talked to Carlos about this before I posted them up, or before I show them. But these are some of the covers that I picked out for the week because I wasn't sure if I was gonna do a modern age stuff or if I was just gonna go into classic. But everybody likes this book. Remember this book right here. Mm. Now there is one thing about this book, guys. So the issue before this, which is 134. A lot of people consider that to be the second appearance of the Punisher. Now, this is labeled as the second appearance, and even his cover appearance right there. But that issue actually has like panels of him like standing, and it's like full appearance, and he's talking. Now, why they don't make that the second and this the third, I don't know. But this would be considered the second appearance of the Punisher. Just another one of those books that I thought is very neat, classic cover. It has like that what is it called when you're trying to get different artists, like a jam piece. It has like a jam piece going on around, all around and stuff. It has characters all around the book. And the other book I wanted to show, just because these movies are on their way. Punisher is there. He's eventually going to be coming into the MCU. Even though we got a new Punisher, Amazing Spider-Man 149. We have Into the Spider-Verse Part 3 coming out, right? Or Return to the Spider-Verse or whatever it's called. You're going to have that second part that's going to come out. So, of course, this is the first appearance of the clone, which goes down to become Ben Reilly. So this is actually the first cover appearance of Ben Reilly, but it's not Ben Reilly yet. So, and then these comics I thought were real neat. So this one right here has been in my collection for a while now. This one I recently got. I just like these are a little bit harder to find. There are the 10 centers. 10 cent. This is beat up and everything. So in this issue, this is issue 262. You actually have the introduction of how strong Kryptonians are under the yellow sun. So, we have All-Star Superman on its way, right? Now, hopefully they read vintage Superman stuff just to understand how that source from the sun works with their genetics, with their DNA. So in this story, it actually talks about how the sun makes them strong, while how also the red sun takes their powers away. Also in this is actually a meteor that hit the Earth, and the military is telling Superman to hide in a cave because kryptonite's going to make him weak. In this comic book, Supergirl actually tells Superman, hey man, I can create a cure using an antidote from the particles of kryptonite, and to try to make us immune to kryptonite. And Superman doesn't like the idea of that. So she tests that on herself, and then she actually goes to the kryptonite and it doesn't affect her. So she goes up to Superman and says, look, my cure works. which is why it says Supergirl's greatest victory. Well, you find out later that the kryptonite was actually eaten by these metal insects. So her cure is actually not really even a cure. She just thought she was curing her immunity. That she was building an immunity to kryptonite, when reality the kryptonite was actually completely destroyed. And in this issue, another really cool thing. By the way, this is a Kurt Swan cover. If anybody doesn't, he used to draw Superman, not really big, just kind of like more like Christopher Reeve-ish. But in this cover, it's telling a lot of the story. But this cover is also, I guess, like, just read what it says right here. So it actually tells you a lot of the story and what's going to happen in the actual thing. But another thing that happens in this book was that Superman loses his powers, and Lois Lane tries to cut his hair, and she tries to expose him as Clark Kent is Superman. But because the needle punctures his skin, he's bleeding all over, so she can't. She fails at it again. So it's a really neat book. You just pick it up if you ever come across it. It is called 262. So that was my recent one that I did get. Now this is 300. This is from my personal collection. This is Superman Under the Red Sun, and this is so there was this group called Superman Revenge Squad, and what they do is they put Superman on Earth 1 million years from now. Now, in the 90s, they did a whole run for superheroes called the Superman 1 million, Batman 1 million, Nightwing 1 million. They did that's when I was actually like 11 or 10 years old, collecting comics at Kroger's and Randall's and Walgreens. We didn't care about spines and things like that, right? So in that comic, Superman, they explain like how he deals with the Red Sun. Well, this was already written way before that comic, and it shows him creating yellow suns in his Fortress of Solitude. And that's another thing too. Superman is just such a cool character, man. If they just could get a good writer, look, if you want to make Superman awesome, give him a good villain like this guy right here, like Parasite, right? So, first appearance of Parasite. So those that don't know, it is a 12 center. I'll zoom in on this book a little bit. It's just, so Parasite can go toe to toe with Superman. He's a really, really cool villain. This would definitely be another book to watch out for. I did hear that they're looking into bringing him into the DCU. So, and of course we have a lot of casting that happened, but these were my vintage books that I wanted to show off, because our goal was today to show off some of the books that we wanted to share with the audience. So thought that this would be a really cool one. I mixed Marvel and DC because I think that both of them should get love. So there you go, guys. And that's why I was writing all these notes, because I was like, man, I don't want to leave anything out. So I had my notepads right here and everything. I was writing notes. I was like, oh, this happens in this book. This happens in this book. And thank you, Wolverado. I was hoping that I could put in something good for everyone. And it gives the people a little bit of knowledge of some of these characters. They should actually do a little segment on that, like, hey, choose your favorite character and give the audience some knowledge on that character if they don't know. It doesn't have to be a popular character. It could just be like Dr. Doom or something, or Dr. Oct. Dr. Oct is, even though he's a bad guy, he has feelings. I've read some older stuff.
So big thanks to Jen for pulling those together. Some great books. Yeah, that's right. I am of the firm opinion that Superman books are a fantastic, great book, classic. He's number one superhero. and then he's coming to the forefront, leading the charge for the new DC universe. So they're great books to have, great books to pick up, especially before the price on them, skyrockets. So fun recommendations. Thanks for doing that, Jen and Paul, for bringing your picks. Y'all make sure, and on the rewind, you can go back, check them out, see what you think. All right, so hashtag Carlos Swifty is what you want to use to enter to win this Daredevil 25th anniversary cover that we got here, or you can get the mystery book if you don't want this one, or you can take Wonder Man #1, which is our upgrade giveaway. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and pull for that right now. I got 21 people that have entered to win, and 26 people hanging out with us in the chat. Make sure and hit that like button. I know we got 20 plus likes already, so y'all make sure and do that. And let's go ahead and get this thing going and give this book away. On 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. There we go, folks. Let's see. Oh, did Dagger cards make it? Oh. Tony Stank. Tony Stank. What's up? Tony Stank. If we had the rights to play it, I would play it right now for you, Liz Barnes. All right, so Tony Stank, here's what we're going to do. You got a few seconds here to choose. You can choose either the Marvel 25th Anniversary Daredevil, or the mystery book, or the upgrade book. You let me know, drop it in the chat, and let us know which one you want to get, and we'll let you take a look at it. So we got that. As we're waiting on Tony, okay, Tony wants to do the mystery book. All right, here we go, folks. So he is going to give up Daredevil number 236, the 25th anniversary. We're dropping that. That was about a 6.5. And instead, he's going to get a copy of Batman number 141.
Oh, nice.
The foil. This new foil, the crazy Batman logo cover here. So this is yours, Tony. This nice little foil book for you. Congratulations on it. I'm going to go ahead and put your name down, and I think I have you guys make sure that y'all are messaging me with info. Tony, I think I've got a book or two already. So, and Pops Mafia, I you too, but I just packaged up some. All right, so congratulations to y'all for that.
You said that was Batman 141?
I think it's 141.
So,
yeah, ain't it like
cool
the
thing about that
computer
Batman
thing or something?
That's the Azure NR Batman. That logo was Azure NR Batman. And the thing is that Batman is going to all these multiverses, and he's making our Batman, which is like Prime Earth Batman, fight. All those Batmans are fighting him. And then the crazy thing is that he takes on the 89 Batman, Michael Keaton, and he's like, "You're not going to beat me." So he's holding his ground. So he jumps over him and he pops him in the back of the head because he can't turn his neck. Right? Dude, I read that awesome. And I was like, "Holy crap!" Like that's really
awesome.
Good writing. That's like because we've always thought of that. He's like, "Why do you need a helmet?" So I can turn around, right? Like he's like turn his neck when he gets out of the. I thought that was cool. I thought that was pretty cool. I nerded out at that point, man. I was like, anyways, that's a cool pickup.
That is fun book for y'all. Again, courtesy and big shout out to Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys. 3 convenient locations in the greater Houston area. They have amazingly stocked back issue bins. Just tons of stuff, tons of new books. All the new foil facsimiles, they've got them in stock. So, I mean, they even have some from like a couple months ago. So if you're, if you're distant, you're remote, you can pick up a phone, and you can call one of these locations and say, "Hey, can you pick out I'm looking for a few new books. Would you mind, because they'll sell and ship to you. And they'll even build, I think they'll build a box. I'm going to have lunch with Tad soon, and we're going to talk about some ideas. And they may be able to build a box for you, or even add you to a pull list if you want. So make sure and check them out. Lone Star Heroes. You can find them on Facebook as @Lone Star Heroes. You can find them on eBay at the Bronze Surfer Comic Books. You can find that information in the video description below, so make sure to check them out. Last topic of the night. Here we go. Wrapping it up, bringing it in for a landing. This will be quick. Final thoughts on the DCEU. Aquaman 2 has debuted. Okay, it's actually this. I think what I read is that it is the best movie release they've had since 2018 for DC movies. All right, but with the release of Aquaman 2, that closes the door officially on the DCEU. So what I want to hear from each of you is just a couple of takeaways. Something good, something bad, a little bit of both, neither. What are things that you feel like we've gotten as a fan community out of the DCEU? And then where do you think things are going to go from here with James Gunn stepping in already?
I like James Gunn. I think he's very creative. He's a creative director. He knows how to write. What I don't like about James Gunn is that he likes to put humor in everything. Like there could be a really silly character and he'll, and that's fine. You can joke around and do things with that character all you want. But when you have a character that's been traumatized, like what he did with Rocket, I thought that was very intellectual. But what he did with, what's his name? Adam Warlock, turned him into a complete goofball, which, he has his tantrums and all that. I don't want that to be something that the new DCU will have, I don't want it to have a bipolar effect like the way DCEU did. Now DCEU had I think we got a pretty good Batman, right? He was like 6'4", 6'5". He towered over his villains. The branding wasn't cool, but he did that because he called them snitches, right? And they took the Frank Miller concept. But you also had a director that was kind of like the mindset of a kid. Took like 3 story arcs and put them into one thing, and you can't do that. It's either you do Batman versus Superman. President calls Superman, hey, he's like dictating and taking over Gotham, take him out. He's just a human being dressed like a bat, right? But he's my best friend. They could have gone down that route and that would have been it. But they decided to turn, Zod into Doomsday, all these crazy ideas. And if they didn't do that, more fans would have been okay with Snyder being a director for other films. But we did get good things out of it, right? We got like I said, we got Ben Affleck. I thought he was a good Batman. Henry Cavill was a decent Superman. I thought he was a good Superman. His Clark Kent was very one-dimensional. I thought he should have been more quirky and a little bit more of a goofball. Clumsy is a word. I felt they could have done a better job with Aquaman. Aquaman, he was. Since day one, I thought he should have been Lobo. And then I hear 10 years later they want to make him Lobo. I'm like, why didn't you just think of that earlier? Why couldn't you make Aquaman what's Chris Hemsworth's brother's name? Liam? Liam Hemsworth would have been a better Aquaman, right?
Yeah, that's actually a really good suggestion.
It's just, I don't know. There's things that they did that I was like, oh, this is great. I enjoyed Aquaman 2, by the way. I went to go watch that with my wife. We enjoyed it. We both thought that maybe it was like a 7 out of a 10. It wasn't great, but it was a good, fun family movie. There was a scene in that movie where it's straight out of the comic book, where he tells Arthur, he goes, wait, so you're telling me that you weren't coming after my throne? And he's like, no, I just found out I had a brother. I knew that I had a brother. It's like, wait. And I love that. I love how they had that moment. And if they did more of that, maybe in the earlier movies where they had real conversations and not that, my man, all that stuff, it would have been, I don't know, maybe their reaction would have been different. As for the DCU, Yeah, I don't know. We just got to see what he does. I mean, James Gunn is pretty good about his casting and so forth. Like he just got Miley from the Game of Thrones prequel, that dragon show. I can't remember what it's called, the House of Dragon. So she's a great actress. I just don't think her face looks all that great as Supergirl. But who knows? She might prove me wrong.
I've seen her in different things, and her face looks really different in different films.
It does, and that's why I'm gonna stay quiet because I'm not trying to choke on my own words. So I am hoping that she does well because she is a great actress. But I'm hoping that the chemistry between her and Superman are good because he's got some shoes to fill, right? Like you're coming in where half the fan base still wants Henry Cavill back, and half the fan base does not want him back. And then you have yourself who's coming in and you look like you could be a great Superman. So it's like the writing has to be done well and all this other stuff. So we'll see, man. And we'll see how this goes. And
I don't even know what you're talking about, Billy. I'm confused. I'm confused.
I'm talking about.
All right. Let's clean it for a living here, folks, because it's late. It's late.
All right. So let's move it on to Paul. Let's see what he has to say.
I don't know what are you talking about, Billy? All right, so like I said before, many a times on the show, the DCEU has a following. If they didn't, then we wouldn't have got the Snyder Cut, which I was surprised. I mean, they do have a following. Aquaman, I really liked the first one. I didn't like Ben Affleck as Batman. They should have brought George Clooney in, the best Batman ever.
No, he's a troll. Get out of here.
Come on, man. Anyway, and then we should have brought back Carlos as Robin, but like I said, Aquaman I thought was really good. Yeah, they did an interview with him about him. Jason Momoa was going to be cast. He wanted to go as Superman. Knew he wasn't going to get the part. Got the call. He said, he goes, "What? I'm playing Lobo." He goes, "No, you're playing Aquaman," and he was just giving a look like, "What? I'm playing Aquaman?" But it turned out really good. I think that they made the first movie made really good money. The second movie, like Jen said, I went and watched it. If you watch the first one, then you watch the second one, you're like, and eliminate the Justice League stuff. You're like, yeah, it was actually pretty good. The interaction between his brother and him, and Black Manta still mad at Aquaman for killing his dad. It was a good movie. They kept building off of that, so I thought that was pretty good. They could keep Aquaman, my opinion, but I thought in the Flashpoint, Michael Keaton was carrying that movie, but I think they should have added this guy made him the alternate Flash instead of.
You're not wrong. That's a lot of people said that.
Yeah, like when he goes back and changes it, I think he should have been in there, had a cameo. He was the CW thing. I like that guy, great actor. But I mean, I don't know. James Gunn, like I agree with Jen a little bit. I think he does too much comedic stuff. I think sometimes you don't really need that too much. But I like James Gunn because he makes obscure characters like people you would never think would be popular. Like everybody didn't know about Rocket Raccoon, Groot, unless you were like diehard comic book fans. But he made them popular. People love Groot now. People love Rocket Raccoon. People
Polka
love
Dot Man.
Peter Quill. Yeah, Polka Dot Man and the Suicide Squad. I mean, he can bring obscure characters. I think Metamorpho is going to be in the All-Star Superman. I don't like the casting for Supergirl. I like the Flash Supergirl. I think they should have kept her. She got a really nice
Melissa Benoist.
She got a really good. People wanted her there. They knew that the DCEU was finally done, so they were hoping that she would come. But I understand he's trying to go a certain way with these characters. I don't know. We'll have to see. James Gunn, don't let me down. You can call me, man. I'll help you out on the DCEU.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot.
I got Carlos that can cast him for a few roles.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
James Gunn, call me.
James are behind James Gunn to succeed than they are to wanting him to fail. Plus, I heard there were pictures out with what's his name, Corn Sweat.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he had his arm around Mealy. You know, like this is like before she was casted as Supergirl, but they said that they know each other, so maybe that played into the part of her getting the role, because Tristan and I were talking about it. And he's like, "Look, he has her arm around her," and I go, "Oh wow,
she was like really good in there." I was watching it. I was like, "Damn, she's holding her own with Michael Keaton and the Flash." But I would have loved to have seen this guy in there, because he was in the Crisis on Infinite Earths, where Ezra Miller comes into their universe. So that would have been cool for him to be there, like him go back and not really be him, but like have that Flash. You're like, who are you? And he's like, who are you?
What about Netflix? I heard that Zack Snyder wants his universe to get picked up by Netflix. I know.
Well, that's what I was saying in the beginning. If Billy doesn't pay attention, but what I'm saying, like, they have a following, because we wouldn't have got the Snyder cut. I was surprised on that, because when he released it and said, "Who wants it?" Dude, everybody was like, "We want the Snyder cut. Release the Snyder cut." So you got that whole thing on HBO Max, and I was just like, "Wow, he has a following." So I could see that they're getting another universe. The Zack Snyder, he's like, "Look, man, you do what you want on that
as
side,
long as it helps him make money." Because one of the things that I dislike was, look, man, I watched Blue Beetle the day that it came out.
Blue Beetle, man. I got a whole thing about what I.
Oh, dude, I was mad.
I got a whole list about Blue Beetle.
How do you not go and watch Blue Beetle? It looks good. Like, it actually.
Just wait. I'm waiting for it to come out, man. I ain't gonna spend my money to watch Blue Beetle.
Come on, I would have taken you to go see.
Shout out to the Art Chemist who's popping in. Chemist. Good to see you hanging out with us tonight, buddy.
If y'all didn't know, Carlos' pick of the week.
Stop.
Says, where's the hair?
Carlos' pick of the week. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel that they have a big fan base, so I could see that what you're saying.
Well, I wanted
his own universe in Netflix, but
yeah, I wanted to see.
DC's got to do something. They got to turn something around.
Well, Ben Affleck's Batman against Deathstroke. I wanted to really see.
I want Booster Gold. Booster Gold would be a good character to bring in.
Wheels have come off,
but you know, Blue Beetle, they could show him.
Let's bring it back.
Blue Beetle was great, man.
Blue
Beetle.
Blue Beetle, they could show Blue Beetle.
Final thoughts on DCEU.
I thought Aquaman was good. Like, I agree with Jen. A lot of people that watched it liked it. Like I said, Aquaman's actually the one that made $1 billion. Number one. I know number two didn't do as well, but I know it's doing good instead of bad. But I mean, like I said, I wouldn't mind number three. I like the interaction with Aquaman and his brother, and I don't know. I think that they went a little bit overpowering. The way he. What was that? Man, don't want to start that. But what's his name? Making Black Manta so powerful. I thought that was kind of like, no, you didn't need to do all that. But I mean, other than that, I said I hated to see it go, but I would, if they had a number three, I would watch it.
I would too. I would definitely watch a number two.
Yeah, I'm just saying, James Gunn shelved Blue Beetle.
All right. So my
Booster Gold.
What's up, Nia Nim? I remember that. I remember you from Star Wars. Have y'all talked about the Supergirl news yet? No, we're actually we covered Daredevil tonight and talked about the close of the DCEU, but we're actually going to cover the finishing up of the Superman casting, I think possibly in a future episode, maybe even next week. Thanks so much to everybody for tuning in tonight. My final thoughts on the DCEU, I think I've shared it before as well. It has just been that I think there was a lot of really good ideas, but I don't think they got to fully explore it and follow them as they had hoped to. because there was a lot of change in leadership at Warner Brothers during that time, and that led to inconsistencies and a lot of changing course in midstream, and as things started getting going, it changed, and then I think just a lot of different circumstances piled up to not let us get the full vision that Zack Snyder had. While I was not a huge fan of it, I know there were a lot of people that were, and I did like Man of Steel.
Man of Steel was good.
So I think it was. We got some high points in that. Blue Beetle being one of them. Ben Affleck as Batman being one of them. I think the fight scenes with Ben Affleck were some of the best Batman fight scenes ever caught on film. And then I think some of the Superman fight scenes, especially from Man of Steel, was the first time that we actually got to really see Kryptonian level strength fighting with each other and what that would actually do. Because I don't think we ever got to see, in the original 70s films, when he goes up against that trio, there's not really a whole lot there. But we got, for the first time in Man of Steel, we got to see real superpower and what a fight between superpowered characters would do to a city. And so I think just a lot of cool stuff in there. Still, two biggest things I hated about the Snyderverse. Number one, didn't like the way Pa Kent died.
Hated that.
Yes.
And just hated that.
Tornado.
And number two, he needed to die from a heart attack because it needed to humble Superman and show him that, as powerful as he is, something just couldn't prevent. And then that's why I always loved in the show Smallville and in the original movies. I love how Pa Kent died. Second thing, I just didn't like that Superman took a life, and I know that was the only thing to do it, but I didn't like that he took a life. I think he could have come up with other ways to. I don't know. It was just too brutal, the way he snapped his neck and did that. Even in the way he took them out in Superman 2, the original one from the 70s, 80s, that wasn't as brutal as the way he took him out.
You should have paralyzed him. I think that would have been better. He paralyzes him instead. And
I had a question for you. So if Zack Snyder wouldn't have got that thing with his daughter, the thing that happened, you think that Justice League would have been a great movie? You don't think that?
No, because I don't think it was, as much as they talked about it being the situation with his daughter, which is a terrible thing, and I can't even imagine it.
Right.
The changes in leadership and him being at odds with different regimes at Warner Brothers, that was the thing that did it.
Yeah, that is true.
That was it. It wasn't
Colorado. Yes, exactly.
Right, Vulcan nerve.
I'm just saying, how do you stop another Kryptonian from killing more people? Just snap his neck. I mean, don't kill him, but
you know what? I will say this: the guy that played Zod, when they recasted him to come back in the Flash, they did an interview with him, and he said that he goes, "Well, I'm dead," and he goes, "No, they're trying to do this version of Flashpoint." They were telling him, and he goes, "Hold on." He called Zack Snyder and told him about it and got his blessing. And I thought that was pretty cool because he seemed like that type of guy. Like, hey, I know y'all are trying to do this. What I was kind of thinking, like, what about if Zack Snyder would have said, "Don't do it"? Would he have not done it? How the movie would have turned out, because he was actually pretty good too.
Yeah, I think he would have said, "Nah, I'm not going to do it."
Yeah,
and then
I thought that was pretty good on his part. He was like, "Nah, let me talk to Zach first." And he said Zach gave him his blessing, and he was like, "Okay, I'll do it." Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I'm sorry, I just wanted.
No, it's good.
You're 100% right, Paul.
No, but I was saying, like, he actually was good in the movie, even though he didn't do too much. He died so many times, or she kept killing Supergirl. But I thought, what would happen if he'd said no and didn't do it? Who would they have as Zod? I thought that was.
Yeah, I really wanted to see a Ben Affleck solo, man. I heard his script was supposed to be a James
Yeah,
Bond. It
yeah,
was supposed to be
yeah.
like very espionage, like he's wearing his tactical suits.
I thought he was going to go through like Arkham or something. Somebody said he was going to
Well,
go.
they said that when
No.
Matt Reeves praised his script, he said, "Look, your story is like reading James Bond. It's very detective based, all that. But my story is more slow paced and less action, more detective. Yours just seems like it's very action packed, very very action. And I wanted to see that because when I read what Ben Affleck wanted to do, he said that Deathstroke finds out that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and he basically takes all the money from his bank accounts. He kidnaps Alfred. He does all these things, and Batman goes on this mission to go save Alfred. And I was like, dude, I want to see that. I want to see that movie. That would have been great. But we'll never
I'm
get
telling
it.
you, Ben Affleck is he made a fantastic. He was a fantastic Batman. And on top of that, he is an amazing filmmaker. You know, all his personal problems aside, he's a fantastic filmmaker. So I would have loved to have seen what he did. And yeah, there is an alternate universe where the change in leadership at Warner Brothers did not happen, and the Snyderverse continued, and it just got to see full fruition. We got a Batman movie, we got a Man of Steel 2, and they didn't rush the Justice League coming together, and it became. So I think it's the change in leadership that.
Thank you, DCEU. Thank you.
But I'm excited though because James Gunn and Peter Safran have complete control. So now you have a creative who's a proven, because he's a hit maker with Guardians of the Galaxy 1 through 3, Peacemaker Season 1, The Suicide Squad. Like he knows how to make good, solid superhero films. So you give somebody like him complete control and then allow him to start farming it out to different filmmakers, because I think they just got one of the directors from one of the episodes of Peacemaker, and he's going to take on one of the films. I think we're going to get better stuff in a more cohesive universe, and I'm looking forward to what he's got cooking.
I wonder who the next will be, because all these Trinity characters are going to have a mantle and shoes to fill, and I feel like, I've said this before, Star Wars fans are very toxic, right? They can be, but DC fans, man, they will go after you. They're probably right up there.
I don't necessarily say, I don't necessarily see any certain fandom as toxic.
No,
I think what it is you have people who care deeply about a property, right? Because it's tied to their childhood. And then you have people coming in with an agenda other than to honor the property. And that's the break right there. A fandom that's tied since childhood to a property, i.e. Star Wars, and people coming in with an agenda that is not to honor the original IP, and that's the break. That's it. It's that simple. It really is that simple. Regardless of what the agenda is, regardless of who the people are, there's a break that happens, and it's all on Disney at this point. So, fandom for our part, we don't need to say nasty things about people. We don't need to, say all kinds of terrible things about them. There's ways to respectfully disagree, and respect them as a person, which everybody's, everybody deserves that.
That's right, Paul.
But then to say, listen, you're... Hey, this is
the only thing that I will say is, like I said, James Gunn makes Peacemaker. Who was talking about Peacemaker? Then putting John Cena in there. I mean, the man was wearing the helmet in the interview. I mean, he embraced the character. But the only thing I like about Ben Affleck, I mean, I don't know what he's talking about, But the only thing I like about Ben Affleck is that he went to George Clooney and asked him, "How do I become Batman?" And I thought that was great because that's the greatest Batman ever.
Go to no damn George Clooney.
All right. I shouldn't have turned it back over to him. All right, folks. Hey, thanks so much for being here on the giveaway show.
Truth hurts, man.
Hours. I don't want to do that. We want to try to keep it short. Thanks for tuning in. To the 20+ people, make sure and hit that like button on your way out. We have enjoyed hanging out with you. We will see you next week for episode number 102. This is season 5 of the giveaway show, and I'm Carlos Collects Comics along with the future Batman and Paul, and we are glad that you chose to join in with us tonight. This is the highlight of our week. We will see you next time. Take care. Paul, put those away.